Welcome, everyone. I am Janet Nowlin, your Franchise Advisory Committee Tech Chair, and Steve Batiz is our Vice Chair, and we are here to talk to you guys for the next hour about cutting through noise on AI search. No hype, not vendor pitches, just real conversation, real examples, and some frameworks that you can act on before the webinar ends. Let's get this party started. And there we are. Hallelujah. Now you have our names so you know who we are. So we're going to play a little game of fact or myth today. First things first, 3 terms that you need to know: SEO, AEO, and GEO. Search engine optimization. So that's the old game. That's what we all have probably heard of, and it's been around forever. It's how you rank in Google results and other search engines. AEO, answer engine optimization. So this is the new game. This is the game that we all want to be playing right now because we want to show up when ChatGPT is asked by a consumer who is the best realtor in your market. GEO is the newest stuff, generative engine optimization. We want to get cited and recommended by all the AI systems. GEO makes you the primary source, and that's what we're after here. So if you kick back to middle school, and I used to teach middle school, which is why this example kind of hit me, finding a primary source and being the primary source of information. That's what you want to be. The cool thing here is SEO can be bought. You can buy your way to the top of the Google engines, and I think that we all pretty much know that. If you've got the money, you can do it, and you can buy your way to the top. AEO, at least right now, is earned through time and reputation. This is where all of this information is hopefully going to help you to be able to show up in all of your large language model searches, whether it be ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Grok, Claude, whoever you happen to be familiar with, that's where we want you to show up. So the short story about this is I know that everything that we're going to talk about today works because I have lived it over the last few months. I built a system for referral brokerages because we didn't have one and I couldn't find one. So I just built it. I have an IT background. It was something I could do. So I did. It does not have a Google My Business page. It still doesn't. It needed to last week and it still doesn't. It just so happens that I built it right. And it wasn't up 2 weeks, and I had 5 phone calls from agents who wanted to hang licenses with my referral brokerage. 3 of them have since signed on. 2 of them already have referrals in the works. Doing these things works. It's a process. It's a playbook, but anybody can do it. I also show up in a variety of the AI engines, even though I do not have a Google My Business page for this website. So it works. So here's how the game's going to be played today. I'm going to put a statement on the screen, and you are going to vote in the chat. Our Zoom poll pop-ups aren't working, so we're just going to do it in the chat. You're going to vote fact or myth. There's not wrong answers. Some of the answers may surprise you, and if they don't, then you may be way far ahead of some of your peers, and that's awesome. It's 7 rounds. It's a mix of myths and facts, and nothing just defaults to myth or fact every time. All right, here we go. Ready to have some fun? Let's do it. Number 1, posting on social media builds my AI visibility. So let me know. What do you think? Fact or myth in the chat? Fact or myth? Make sure you're set to everyone so we can see it.
Well, everyone's saying, "Oh, we got a myth. One myth. Pretty much everybody else's facts so far. Oh, two myths.
It is a myth.
Yeah.
Oop, hang on a sec. I just messed up my screen. There we go. It is a myth. So this is a little more nuanced than just flat out myth because not all social is equal. Most of your social content that sits behind a paywall can't be seen, and AI can't read it. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are very low on AI visibility. We spend a lot of time in Facebook and Instagram. Some of us spend a lot of time on TikTok. AI can't hear your TikTok. It can't see your great dance. It can't even read your captions. It just doesn't do it. Your higher visibility, LinkedIn and YouTube. Hopefully y'all have LinkedIn accounts and you are working on them and keeping them populated and keeping them up to date and have really good profiles behind them. Your public posts are indexed, transcripts are crawlable. YouTube has a huge AI visibility, and Steve's going to talk to that here shortly. Reddit is one that I wanted to make sure everybody understands. Based on some research, 24% of all of Perplexity's sites come from Reddit. So that's a platform that we're not all on. I don't see a whole lot of real estate out there when I look out there. Moral of the story is we all need to chat on Reddit more and make sure that we have well set up LinkedIn's. So here's a little chart, gives you
That
some idea of
that
where we're
doesn't. Can I say something? That doesn't mean don't stop posting on those because your SOI is still on there and they can still see you.
It
But
certainly does not. The right
add
tool for the right job. Exactly.
right,
Yeah.
add to it.
Yeah, exactly. There is you want to keep your profile and your visibility on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you've been. You're just not going to expect that ChatGPT is going to be out there looking at your Facebook and saying, "Ooh, choose Janet because hey, wow, she's really hanging out in the neighborhood and came to my ice cream parlor and all this other stuff." Um, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, and your Reddit are more of where your social media AI visibility is going to come from. But yes, exactly. It's the right tool for the right job. Got a chart at the end that's going to show all of that to you too. All right, number 2. Your Google Business Profile is the most underused free tool in your marketing toolbox. Fact or myth? Do, 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 do. How does that go?
We should have got the music.
Should have got the music for the background. Yes, I should have.
Yeah. Then we get hit with a copyright strike or something off of that. You can't win.
James would not be happy with me if we got sued for copyright.
Right.
I see a lot of fact, a lot of fact, a lot of fact. And you are, in fact, completely right. So, your Google My Business, completely free, feeds your Google AI overviews and your Google recommendation engine. Sad to say, most people who have a Google My Business page have it half finished, maybe an old phone number, 3 photos from 2019. You got to keep it current. It has to be complete. If there is a field to fill it in. Make sure that you're generating reviews consistently. You're going to hear that a lot today from me too. Reviews are gold. Reviews are things that are getting read and getting crawled and definitely being used by all of the wonderful LLMs that are out there. This costs you nothing. You just have to go out and do it. So one of the things that we used to play with a lot was the Google Q&A. It is gone. So don't go in there looking for it thinking you're crazy because A couple of years ago, everybody said, "Oh my gosh, you've got to put all those questions in there and get them answered. Do the FAQs and the Google Q&A." Well, Google decided to do away with that. It's been replaced by Ask Maps. So Ask Maps is actually powered by Google. It's powered by your reviews. So if your profile and your reviews are strong, Gemini is going to do a whole lot of that work for you. And you're going to be able to make a lot of headway with the AI recommendations. Two big, huge things. Make sure that Google My Business page is filled out and filled out well with details, especially your local market. You want to be known as a local market expert. And make sure that people who are giving you reviews are talking about how you're a local market expert. I talked about it before I got to the slide. Sorry about that. Forgot we had the extra one there. So Ask Maps is the replacement powered by Gemini, reads your reviews, their websites, and generates answers about you. If your profile is rich and you have strong reviews, you will get AI-generated answers. When you have a sparse profile or when Gemini can't figure out what to say, guess what it does? It takes a guess. So I'm sure most of you guys have heard the word hallucination and how AI hallucinates. AI hallucinates because it doesn't have complete information. The more complete information you can give it, the less it will hallucinate. The more details it has, the more facts it has, the less it will have to fill in the gaps for itself. All of that being said, one of the other things we started to talk about is video. So Steve's going to take over here for about the next 10 minutes and talk about what to do with video and how to get your best use out of video to try to get out there and create those answer engine signals.
All right,
Steve,
click.
I'm passing it off to you.
All right, thanks. So just a little background. I've been shooting video and putting it on YouTube for probably, I don't know, 2.5 years now. I'm close to hitting 2,000 subscribers, and a lot of people said that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're talking about real estate, local, hyper local real estate content, it's a lot. Now I don't do like I live in Southern California in Seal Beach, and I don't do videos on $1 million homes. There are people that do those that have a lot more followers, but they're just there to look at the nice homes. I'm talking about the neighborhoods, about the community and stuff like that. So one of the things you have to know is that Google owns YouTube. So when you post a video on YouTube, I mean, it's very good for SEO and AEO because YouTube takes your video and they go through they transcribe it. So the words that you're saying in the video are very important. If you want to be the local expert, you need to go into like one of your AI programs and ask it, what do I need to say in my video to become a local expert in such and such an area? And then in the video, you're going to repeat that, like several times. Another thing that a lot of people think is that, I mean, shorts do help out. I think I've got in the last 30 days about 20,000 views on shorts. And last I checked, it was about 350 hours of watch time between my shorts and my long form videos. They do help, but and like some days I'll put up a short and it'll do 1,000 views in one day. Some days it's like 150. But those also get transcribed and you're served up based on that, and it also pushes to the AEO. It signals the AEO that that you're a valid what's the word I'm looking for? A subject matter expert in the area. So, for
Primary
a long,
source.
what's that?
The primary source.
Yeah, so for a long time I mean I'm in Seal Beach, which is like just south of Los Angeles County, North Orange County. But I also work out in Riverside County, and San Diego County. So that's a huge area. What I've started doing within the last couple of months is just like niching down just on Seal Beach. I mean, there's agents in Seal Beach that I know that are they do none of this, and they're making $1 million a year in GCI in just this little town, and there's 20,000 people living in this town. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go all in, start niching down on that. So I started putting out videos every day on Seal Beach. There's a community here called Leisure World, which is a senior community which has most of the listings in the area. And I mean, yesterday I got 3 calls off of my YouTube videos, and this is because I'm like niching down. If you type in Leisure World Seal Beach into Google, I guarantee I'm going to come up in the search results under video at least. Um, but what I also did was I took Codex, and I know this is kind of getting into it too much, so I don't want to go too far. And I built a website around Leisure World Seal Beach, and on that website, I put a video, like all my videos on that community into one of the tabs. So now that those videos are also showing up on that website. Today, and this is all ChatGPT. ChatGPT like knocked it out for me, and I really didn't have to touch anything, and it's pretty accurate, like dead on. Um, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to have it go through and build articles based on the content from each of those videos and put that into a subpage. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to build some authority in this area where the AI engines will find me. I mean, and I'm still kind of like almost there with the AI engines. It's getting pretty close. But I haven't really been in Seal Beach I think I've been here for about 5 years. I used to be out in Riverside County. That's why I still work that area. But I'm getting agents calling me that have worked in Leisure World for like 20 years. And they're like, hey man, you got any buyers? Because I'm like, my phone's literally ringing right now with another buyer from Leisure World, from that community. So it works. You just have to do it. Um, and it's very like what I've just bought this little handy dandy. It's a DJI Nano, and I clip this on my visor, and I have the little control right here. I push the button and start recording. I drive down the road and I do 1 minute videos. Hey, did you know that you don't have to do really necessarily do a home inspection in Leisure World because they already do one? And I kind of talk about these little things about the community, and then I come back and I have all those videos, and I take them and drop them into Codex, and I tell Codex, pull the transcripts, give me titles and descriptions for each one of these videos and hashtags, and then I have a program called Buffer, and I tell it to go into Buffer and schedule all these videos out, one every day at 2 o'clock every day for the next. And the other day I did 15 days. It very little, literally took me very little time. It didn't take a long time to do it because I'm having Codex, which is a Chat GPT coding program that kind of takes over your computer when you want it to, and it's scheduling everything. So, I even my own agents, I tell them do video and they won't do it. The the thing about, and I was talking to Janet the other day, there's you know you didn't know how to do real estate before you knew how to do real estate. You didn't even think you knew how to do real estate, and then you slowly learned into it, and now you can do it with your eyes closed, right? Most of you. That's what you have to do with video. You have to just start, pick up a camera, use your cell phone. And that little camera I just showed you right there is like $400, and it has everything. So, um, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'm very passionate about the subject. Um, but the biggest hurdle is actually turning on the camera. And I didn't like how I looked. I didn't like how I sounded on the camera. I thought I sounded, I was very critical of, I'm critical of a lot of things, but of myself. And now it's like, put the camera on, you know, hit record. That's all you have to do. So back to you, Janet. Did I miss anything or?
Um, I don't think
I
so.
mean, we basically, like we all know, like YouTube is indexing. Um, when you put those videos up along with the indexing, and you do all your Google business page, And that's the thing, you know, it's very important just to keep putting out content,
Yeah.
keep putting out content. Um, and it can be a hurdle to get that done. Get ChatGPT to help you out. Get Codex to help you out. You all talk to people about real estate all day long. Turn on the camera, do a 1 minute short video of things that you already talk about, you know, and people will come to you. Like, believe me, it's working. I mean, my phone's like literally ringing right now again. So anyway, go ahead, Jen. I got to take these calls. I'm just kidding.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, we're good.
Now,
We're
time
here
and
for a little
place.
bit longer. You still got 38 minutes to talk, so
Oh,
you know,
we're good. We got lots to talk about
there you go.
still. I love that you brought up Codex and Claude does the same kind of thing. There's a number of ways to do that. There's a lot of really cool stuff out there if it's another task you want to learn. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute too, about every tool has its purpose. But yeah, um, totally agree. I hate what I sound like. I hate what I look like. Doing video is a it's a chore for me. You've got to
But
get out of your comfort zone and you have to just do it because it
I
is
mean,
so
I want to, and just to, I mean, to show you, like, if you look at that right there, I don't know if you can see it, but it says 1890 subscribers, 325 hours of watch time. That's me in front of people for 325 hours in the last 30 days. I mean,
yeah,
you know, I don't know.
that's awesome.
There's nothing else you can do to get in front of your clients, your customer base for that long. I mean, I mean, you work 40 hours a week. What's that? 160 hours a month or something? I know we work more than that, but that's a lot of time.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I'm
And they
sleeping
want to
there.
see you and they want to hear from you and the
Right.
things that you've done and the numbers that you have behind that prove that they're listening and that they're waiting to see what you have to say
Right.
next and
And
and the information you have is valuable.
you're the best part about it is you're the expert. I'm not the expert. I mean, I know my shit pretty good out here, but there are other agents in the area that know that community better than I do. But when I show up in front of people, they're like, "Oh my God, you look just like you do on the videos." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know,
Is that a good thing or a bad
what'd you
thing?
ex what'd you expect?" You know, and but people really they get to know you and they relate with you and then they buy with you. You know, they sign the paper.
Right.
So, you know, and they listen to what you say versus, you know, I get a lot of leads that, you know, off of like paid sites as well. And it's like, oh my God, what a nightmare. Some of these people, and you all know what I'm talking about. It's night and day from the people that already know you, that have been watching you. I've had people say, "Oh, I've been watching you for a year now." And I'm like, why the hell didn't you call me? You know, you should have called me a year ago. Prices were cheaper or whatever. But
Right.
you know, those people actually they like you and they want to work with you. You know, just got to start doing it.
Yep.
So
Yep. No, it's definitely motivational when you hear it from other people. Yep. All right. Moving on. Let's get another poll in here. So, I need a big budget to compete with AEO search. Fact or myth? What do you think? Do you need a big budget to get out there and be seen in the AI world?
I think everybody knows the answer to this one.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hell,
Well, looks like
we lost some people when I was talking, Janet. Did I run them off?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I don't think so. They probably had to answer those calls.
right, I guess.
So you are correct. It is a myth. So SEO can be bought. You can buy your way to the top of the Google chain. You can be a paid advertiser. You can get to the top. At this point in time, AEO is not that way. Somebody just said to me the other day, but it will be. And I said, well, maybe, but the way that AEO is designed, and has been designed is the algorithms and the engines are out looking for something different. Um, will there come a time when that changes? Maybe, but you want to get in there now while it's not, because you can definitely earn your way through reputation. So, newer agent with 20 good Google reviews and hyperlocal content talking about their neighborhood, being the mayor of their town, is going to be able to outrank a 20-year veteran who isn't out there and who doesn't have a presence. That's what the answer engine is looking for. It's looking for people who are answering questions that people have. So, an agent who's been there for 15 years with good community relationships, you're sitting on a huge asset that nobody can outspend because you already have it. You just have to know how to use it. It's not a budget problem, it's an intention problem. Goes back to my example of my referral brokerage. When I put that website up, and same thing Steve was saying, you have to know how to do it. Codex helps you. You have to understand what's behind it, and you can't just throw up any website. It has to have the right words in it. It has to be searchable. AEO has to find it. The AI engines have to find it. Within 2 weeks, I had people telling me they found me in ChatGPT and in Gemini. I didn't do anything other than put up the website and put it up properly with a good FAQ page, answering the right questions and doing the things that I knew I needed to do. Didn't put any money into it. Still came out higher than other referral brokerages who have been in the business in my market for longer. So that was kind of cool. The other thing I started doing then was looking to see, okay, well, if that's what's happening with my referral brokerage, where am I with my next home brokerage? And sure enough, in my market, I am ranked, I am referred in Gemini and in ChatGPT for multiple questions. Even though I'm not the largest brokerage, I'm not the highest producing brokerage, but I have good Google reviews, and my web pages and my Google business page answer the questions that they need to answer that consumers are asking for you to be found. So that is the other side of things, is what are those questions? I want to talk about how to figure those out here in a minute too. But knowing what to post where, it gets you there. It gets you recommended, and that's what we're looking for in this whole new world. Not that you're not going to be able to get to the top of Google without paying. You certainly can do that as well. And you can pay people to do that for you. But that, again, is a money problem, not an intention issue. So if you have the intention and don't want to throw money at it, AEO is where you want to be. Next. Reviews are your resume, and AI reads them. Fact or myth? What do you think? How much do your reviews matter? You guys are super smart. Super, super smart. So you all have been around the block once or twice. You are correct. AI reads the words in your review, not just the number of stars people give you. So, Janet helped us close in Ashland in 30 days during a competitive market is a whole lot better than Janet's a rock star. So, two things here to talk about. One, the words matter more than the stars. A 5-star review that says Janet's a rock star, or a 5-star review that says we were so impressed, doesn't help you when it comes to AI. It helps you when it comes to Google because it's a 5-star review. What you're looking for is details. Details about what Janet did, where she did it, and how she did it. That's what AI is gonna pick up on and is gonna turn around and be able to refer you because of. So you want your clients to leave you a Google review, obviously, but you want it to be a review that matters more than the stars. How
So
you
yes,
write.
Yeah, I was going to real quick. Yesterday, I did three. I sent out three review requests, and I asked ChatGPT to write a sample. Um, and I guarantee you, all three of them are going to probably just copy and paste it in there. But basically, I asked ChatGPT to write me a prompt to feed back into ChatGPT on what to ask for, that so that the AI engines will find me or help them find me.
Most definitely, you can ask for that kind of help, and that's what you want. You want to stop short of telling somebody exactly what to write, but you definitely would like to give them clues and cues
Yeah.
to what you need for them to write. So getting that as a good ask versus a bad ask. Can you leave me a Google review? I know back in the day, my old email used to say, "Hey, if I provided 5-star service, please provide me with a 5-star review." That doesn't mean as much anymore because it needs to say more than "you were wonderful." It needs to talk about where you were wonderful, why you were wonderful, and how you were wonderful. Because the Chat GPTs and the Geminis, people are coming in and asking a question. They're asking, who is the best agent in Mechanicsville, in my neck of the woods, to help with first-time homebuyers? Who is the best person I can go to in Hanover County to help me downsize? They're asking very specific questions, and we want to be the answer to those questions. So you got to figure out what answers you want to be because it's hard to be all to everybody. But you want to make sure that they're useful. And also, most of us only capture 10 to 15% of the reviews that we can. So you want to make sure that you're asking. Obviously, we have ways to do that within Next Home, where you can ask for those Zillow reviews and those Reach 150 reviews when you put your contracts in the back end. But a great email from the agent is the best way to get them to do what you want them to do. All righty. Done for you content tools handle all my AI visibility. What do you think? I know some people have mentioned a few of those already in the chat. What do you have? What's your feelings? Do, 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 do. Whoops, mouse is not cooperating. Oh, I see those numbers moving now. We got some facts and some myths. A little bit of a mix. Come on, cursor. I don't know why my cursor seems to want to be in business for itself today. All right. Answer here is it's a myth. Activity is not authority. That's the thing to remember. Activity is great. And like Steve said earlier, don't stop doing what you're doing. Facebook is awesome. TikTok is awesome. Instagram is awesome. All of those things are great. They're activity. If you are doing them right and they are showing you in a positive light in your community, that is part of the battle, and that's what you want to be. You want to be accessible. But you also need to be an authority. So posting 100 generic posts about interest rates doesn't make you a local expert. Done for you content provides you with activity, not necessarily authority. So they will hit your infrastructure layer, but they're not necessarily going to build the content that you want to be cited for in your specific market. They're complementary. They're not competing with anything else you want to do. They help, but you have to understand the why and decide whether what you're paying for is really what you need at the time. Or are you doing really well with that activity, but not with the authority? And maybe that's where you need the help. There's a couple of different ways you need to come at this. The authority is what the AI engines are looking for. Another one. Your clients will do most of this work for you if you ask them at the right moment. What do you think? Fact or myth? How much help can you get from what your clients will do for you? Got a couple of people chiming in there. There's a couple more people chiming in. Are your clients going to help you with this? Think about what it is that your clients can do for you. All right. The great reveal. Fact. Most of the agents only capture 10 to 15% of the reviews that they could. We talked about that a few minutes ago. It's not because your clients don't want to help, but it's because you didn't ask them at the right time in the right way. This goes back to the reviews we were talking about. You want to catch them within 48 hours of whatever the positive experience was. It doesn't have to be closing. It could be writing an offer. It could be whatever it is in the process that you're going through that was just something really terrific and a great moment that you had with that client that you want to try to get them to talk about. You need a system that prompts the ask at the right moment, and that can make the difference between just a few reviews and all your reviews. You want to ask specific questions, you want to ask them at the right time, and you want to ask them in the right way. And then they will be your best asset. You just have to ask them. All righty. So let's talk about a place for everything and everything in its place. Our Next Home tech stack is awesome. It does some really great things for us, and we're lucky to have all of the tools that we do have. It does great with IDX property searches, lead capture. You can see the bullets on the screen. I don't need to read them for you. Or it's great as a CRM. Behavioral tracking. There are things that it does really well. Service area pages, blogs, if you actually use them. The things that you have to make sure you're doing to make it do what you want it to do and what else you need it to do, or find another resource for doing it. If you are not using a custom domain, you need to be, and I would imagine with the way that we have ours, almost everybody, if not everybody, is using a custom domain. Nobody is out here using Bold Trail. If you are not using something recognizable, you need to get with marketing and get that fixed immediately, if not sooner, because that's killing you. You need to be recognizable. Within Bold Trail, blog content doesn't always index the way that it should. It seems to have a little gap sometimes. Blog content is a great way to get your message out there. It has to be used consistently. One of the things we have found with Bold Trail that can cause a small problem is your former agent pages can persist even after they leave. That's something you can talk to marketing about as well. For AI authority, your content has to live on a domain you actually own. So you don't want to be using things like boldtrail.com or anything else generic. You want to make sure that you have your own place to build and that you know how to do that. And with us, with custom pages, it can be done and it can be done really well. You just need to know how to use them and make the best of them. FAQ pages are huge for being able to get that authority out there. And since they no longer live in Google My Business, a great place to put them is here in Bold Trail or any other web domain you might be using. Having an FAQ page is definitely one of the things that, for me personally, has raised my visibility with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, all of them. So I guess so. Here's one of the pieces of research. Now, Fly Dragon, who created this first number, Uh, 91% of agents are invisible to AI search engines. That is there because literally, if you're not doing these things, you're not being seen. So keeping in mind that FlyDragon is actually similar to some of the other paid sources. It's an AI visibility source, and that number came from 12,000 plus research that they did across 8.2 million queries, which is a pretty good number. Um, you're not out there the way you think you are. And you could simply go out there and run queries to find out whether or not you're being seen and where you're being seen and how you're being seen. If you want to do that, I have a little tool that I can share with you. If you're interested in that, reach out to me. These other two numbers are a little more confusing. So what they're saying here is a lot of searches through answer engines and without a click to a website, or even searches in Google now, because the AI piece comes up first. AI is giving that information. It's finding those resources for you and giving you answers before you ever even click anywhere. So if you're not being talked about by AI, you're not going to be in the conversation. This last piece, there's a 0 click rate when AI overviews appear in the results. So when Google pulls up that top AI piece and tells you the answer to your question, they're not even going further down and clicking on you in Google. You have to get yourself in to the AI visibility one way or another. All righty, all righty. So this is coming. I have time to figure it out later. Fact or myth? Put it on the back burner, worry about it next week, next month, 6 months from now, or do we need to jump on this and get in the game? What do you think? All right. Well, we have a smart crowd. Super true. The window's open. It's not going to stay open forever, guys. So here's some facts for you. 18 months ago, 17% of home buyers used AI for their primary search method before contacting an agent. Now, 67%, 18 months later. Not a gradual shift. It's coming, it's here, 67%. It's here. If you are not being recommended and you are not showing up in ChatGPT or Perplexity or Grok or wherever your favorite is, you're already missing the boat. You've got to get yourself in there and be seen. You've got to establish yourself in your geography. You have to figure out where you want to be seen and get it going, or you're going to get left behind in the AEO searches because other people are doing it and they're not going to lose ground. You've got to start to gain ground. Zillow, our favorite Zillow. Zillow's share of agent discovery traffic year over year, 41.2% last year, down to 33.8% this year. So if Zillow is realizing, which they are, because they have now relaunched Zillow AI Mobile back in March, and they are now integrated directly into ChatGPT. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because they see it too. People are going to the answer engines. They're going to ChatGPT. They're going, which was the first big one. They're going to Gemini. They're going to Claude. They're going to Perplexity. and they're asking these questions, and Zillow sees it, and they see the writing on the walls. So one action this week: find a question your ideal client asks right before they decide to
Hmm.
hire an agent. Search it out. Ask your favorite AI what that question would be. I've gone in there and done this, and I get pages of information back. I have a prompt I can get to you guys. I don't have it at my fingertips at the moment, but I'll get it to you guys to share with when the PowerPoint gets shared. I'll have the prompt in there, or you can reach out to me if you want it. What is your ideal client asking when they go to ChatGPT? Are they asking who's the best agent in your market? What are some of those things that you should own? You want to know what those questions are. You want to find a few of them for yourself, and you want to make sure that your Google business profile, your website, anywhere you have to post it answers that question. Because that's what people are asking. That's the way this works. The consumer goes out to ChatGPT and says, find me the most qualified land agent who sells land in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They're just asking questions. If you are not part of the answer, you're going to get skipped over. That's what all of this is about. Getting you to understand how to ask the questions and how to get the answers into your profile, into your world, so that people can find you. So your job is find one question and answer that one question this week. Start somewhere. This lovely little chart goes back to what we were talking about strength by channel. Your website, your email list, what kind of AI visibility do they have, and what is a key insight for knowing what to do with that. Google reviews are the big one. Words matter more than stars. Okay, if you go through this, what I would love to do is have a whole bunch of us out there on Reddit just talking about real estate, talking to each other about real estate, becoming the experts in our neighborhoods. There it is, very high when it comes to AI visibility. The only one on the list, very high. Perplexity is tough to crack. If that's the way to crack perplexity, that's an easy one to do. So that brings us to Q&A. We got about 10 minutes left. What kind of questions do you guys have for us? What can we answer? How can we help you? If anybody wants to jump in and ask, either on audio or video, let me know. Otherwise, post them in the chat, and let's see what it is that we need to know. Reddit, how does Reddit work? Reddit works a lot like Facebook. I mean, it doesn't have all of the glitz and glamour, which is really good because it's more just text-based. People go out and start conversations about something and ask questions. You could start a conversation about something going on in your neighborhood. Reddit does not like it to be for advertising purposes. They frown on things that are advertising based. It's an exchange of information. If you go to Reddit and you put in a question about pretty much anything you want, you will find that there's a subreddit there for so many things. It's ridiculous what's out there being discussed by people, and that's all it is. It's a meeting of the minds. It's a place to go and discuss things. It's only as good as the people who are having the conversation and what they're what their actual background is. But like anything else on the web, it's a place to go and talk about it. But it is just text-based, and it's super easy for the engines to go in there and read, and that's why it's highly read. What other kind of questions? And that's not dumb. That's not dumb at all. What other kind of questions have we got, folks? Come on, nobody has questions? I'm backing up here. I'm not seeing any questions in there.
No, no questions.
No questions.
One of the things I started to touch on, but I think I didn't get all the way through it with the videos, like video length on YouTube. You want it to be try to get it about 10 minutes, and yeah, do the shorts, but if you're gonna do long form, do 10 minutes because Google doesn't or YouTube doesn't monetize anything under 8 minutes. And why is Google there? To make money. So if you have a 10-minute video or a 20-minute video or a 30-minute video, they're going to make more money. So you just keep that in mind too. And you get a lot more content and a lot more words for them to index, and um, you get more exposure from them. So if you put like a 5-minute video, and I've done this before, like 5 minute, 6 minute videos, they don't do very well once they hit like 8, 9, 10 minutes. And the other thing too about video is that, and just like everything else that we spoke about today, once you get it out there, it's evergreen. So I'm getting calls from videos I did 2 years ago, and it's kind of crazy, like how that works. But it's always out there. You just make sure. Um, that's why if you look at like open house videos, yeah, they're kind of cute. You get on there, say I'm doing an open house today, but tomorrow that video is irrelevant. So do content that's going to be relevant that people are going to continue to search for, you know? So, I mean, that's probably the strongest, somebody wrote a question for optimized AEO. How important is consistent blog posting on your website? What is the ideal video length? All right, just answer that one. Now back to you.
So consistent blog posting is important. You're not going to get caught until you're doing it consistently. So posting just one here and there is likely not to even get caught at all, especially if you're doing it out of Bold Trail. It has to be consistent in order for it to show up. Consistent meaning at least weekly, and it has to be something of high value. It has to have content in it. It can't just be a restaurant review or something silly. It needs to be something that is germane to your market, and something that is answering the questions that people are asking. But yes, it has to be consistent. Doing it just once every now and then doesn't. It's simple to make it consistent. Again, we've got all the power in the world to tell any one of these AI gurus that we have our fingertips in to create for you a weekly blog post, and you'll give it the subject each week and have it prompt you for what your subject is, have it help you with that blog post, and have you do it. It's not something you have to spend hours doing. You can generate it with the system. You can have it run weekly for you. There's a lot of different ways that you can just make that happen.
And I mean, that brings up a good question though. When not a question, but I get a lot of people say, "Oh, I mean, a lot of people in the YouTube space, or like on some of these groups I follow and stuff, or I'm part of, they talk about doing restaurant reviews or you know coffee shop reviews, and it's kind of one of those things where do you want people to find you uh, as a real estate agent or a restaurant reviewer?
Right.
If they're not going to call you if you're just reviewing restaurants, but if you go in and review a restaurant and say, hey, I'm a local realtor here in, whatever city, and one of the places I like to go is blah blah blah, then maybe, but I think it's a longer game to do that, to get people to, you know, look at you as the local expert in real estate if all you're doing is reviewing restaurants. So you
Right.
gotta have to think about, the other, just go to Chat GPT or your favorite AI app and ask it, what should I be doing to get this result? Ask it to write you a prompt. Ask it to write you a prompt to what you should ask it, and it'll come up with this. I mean, you'll get a very detailed report on what you should be doing videos on. If you're, I see a lot of people, just like going out and doing cute little videos, and that, on social media, if you're posting that stuff, it could work, because the people that, if you have a lot of subscribers on social media or a lot of friends, um, because they're watching your content, but you got to put in there, you got to put real estate in there somehow. And and Jenny, I'm hesitating when I'm saying this because the last tech talk we had, there were a couple of women on here that I was like, oh crap, they're doing really good with, these videos they're putting out, but they also brand themselves as, next home realtors. So you have to have a good mix of it. If you want to get like people calling you and knowing that you're the expert and get the AI engines to recognize you as an expert, you have to talk about real estate. The restaurant reviews, the coffee shop reviews. Um, I don't know if I would concentrate on that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just don't see that working.
It's a mix of things. It's definitely a mix of things. You want to be out there as an expert, and what you want to be an expert in is real estate and also your local market. So I get it with the restaurant reviews and things like that. But if restaurant reviews are taking it over and you're not talking about the local real estate market, then you're kind of losing focus of what you want to, of what you want to be known for.
Right.
I answered somebody's question about AI. Gemini has served me the best for graphics when I want to do things. I threw up there my wiredtoclose.com resource site, which is a great place to go to create prompts, use prompts. It's got all sorts of good stuff out there if you're looking at basic AI stuff. If any of what we're talking about here has gotten completely over your head and you're still at a point where you're like, I don't even know what to ask AI, Wired to Close has got a lot of good stuff in there. We're coming up on having to shut this down though. So yeah, Logan, thank you for jumping in there on the website question. Definitely use your Bold Trail website. If you're not using anything, use Bold Trail. It's what we have, and it certainly does the job for getting your presence out there. But you need to dig into those custom pages and create your FAQs. If you do nothing else, learn how to do a custom page with FAQs. Get into your favorite AI and ask it what questions you should be answering and get them out there, because that's going to be the replacement for the old FAQs in Google. And that's going to be your first big piece. I have a sheet that will also come out with this. I can't, again, sorry guys, can't put my finger on it. I don't know where the heck it went. That is a list of items to do coming out of what we've done here today. It's also going to be on Wired to Close for you. And Logan will send it out when we send out the replay of this. So you will have those resources at your fingertips. Apologize for not having them to drop in the chat right now. I'm having a little bit of difficulty finding some things. Appreciate everybody being here. If there's anything you need, if you need to get a hold of us, you've got Steve and my contact information. Here's the rest of my contact information, places you can find me. Again, it'll come out with the replay so that you can go back through this little by little and not have to swallow the frog whole. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you.